Well, we're back in London. We've just finished our trip on the Oxford Canal and we're in Rotherhithe and we're going to a really interesting pub for lunch with our friend Sal, and then we're going mudlarking.
Yeah, come with us.
Originally called the Ship Inn and dating back to 1780, the pub was rebuilt as the Spread Eagle and Crown and renamed the Mayflower in 1957 in honour of the Pilgrim ship.
The Mayflower embarked about 65 passengers in London about the middle of July 1620, proceeded to Southampton and then on to America.
Rotherhithe is on the southern bank of the River Thames and the Mayflower is right on the water's edge. We're not sure what this is. It looks old and a bit like a bell. We're back to take a closer look. Only numbers here. What's this? Vernitubes.com? It can't be that old. It's a modern cast iron bollard. Looks like a nice pub here, the Brunel. Yeah, I need all right. Yep. Which way are we going here, Lynn? Left. And here's the pub we're going to, the Mayflower. Yep, and Sal's sitting outside there. Hey. Hi, Sal. Hi, Gobby. How are you?
She's not very photogenic.
Oh.
Well, last weekend, because England were playing in the football.
Good. Yeah, we're good. We're very
Nice
good.
to see you.
You too. Should we go and have something to eat then?
Yeah. Oh.
Sounds a good idea.
The local meeting place.
Wow, this looks good. Got to try their scurvy ale. It's a house beer made for them by Green King. The house beers, although uniquely named and badged for the individual pubs, they're the same beer for all the venues across the UK. There seems to be a lot of locals in what we thought was probably going to be a tourist type pub.
See where these pink flowers are over the water? That's me.
All right. We can see along the foreshore to Sal's flat and where we will be mudlarking when the tide goes down. Cheers!
Cheers.
It's a session ale. Session beers are crafted for their drinkability and balanced flavours, rather than a strong alcoholic punch, so you can have a few during a session at the pub. Nice. We're sitting on a deck over the water. Great place for lunch. Now, what will we have to eat?
I'm having Old English sausages, mashed potatoes, mixed vegetables and red onion gravy. Yum. Rick's having a chicken pie with mashed potato, vegetables and gravy. For dessert, Sal's having creme caramel with mixed berries. I'm having pavlova with mixed forest fruits. Still trying to work out a puzzle cache. It has a wonderful nautical themed interior.
Love the ship's rat on the line here.
We just have to have a look around. More of a restaurant feel upstairs, with a nice view out over the Thames. The tide is still in, so we're off geocaching before mudlarking. A quick stop in to see the graveyard of St Mary's Church. Captain Jones died in Rotherhithe less than a year after his return and was buried here in this churchyard. The location of his grave is no longer known. Here's the tomb of Prince Lebu, the second son of the ruler of Palau. He was one of the first people from the Pacific Islands to visit Great Britain. Unfortunately, he died of smallpox in 1784, some 6 months after his arrival in London. He was only 20 years old. This sandstone sculpture shows St Christopher, the patron saint of travellers, holding a baby. St Christopher looks back to the old world, while the baby gazes towards the new.
Around the plinth is written, "To the memory of Christopher Jones, 1570 to 1622, master of the Mayflower." Rotherhithe was central to the start of the Mayflower's journey, the home of the captain and many members of the ship's crew, and the site of their return. Another lovely riverside pub, the Angel. We'll take a quick look at the remains of King Edward III's manor house. The residence was constructed around 1350. Rotherhithe was a small hamlet set in low-lying marshland. It was placed on a small island. This allowed the king to, at high tide, arrive by boat and moor up against the steps of the gatehouse. The moat acted as a status symbol and defensive measure. The area around the manor house has been reclaimed over the 600 years that have passed. Here the king could practice his falconry over the flat marshlands and the River Thames. Just across the road are some interesting sculptures. Here's Dr. Salter's Daydream series. It depicts Dr. Alfred and Ada Salter, their daughter Joyce and their cat. Back around 1900, this area had some of the worst slums in the city. Dr. Salter offered free medical services to those who could not afford to pay.
Sadly, Joyce, aged 8, died of scarlet fever when an epidemic swept through the slums. He paid a big price for helping others less fortunate. Now back to geocaching.
Okay, we have to get some information off this here. Try and find the cache.
It's a memorial stone laid here in Kingsdere's Gardens to commemorate Queen Elizabeth II's Golden Jubilee in the 50th year of her reign.
Okay, what's the cache called then?
The cache is called Kingsdere's, and it's a multi, and it's this way, 155 metres. The size is a question mark. It's a 3 difficulty, so it's a tough one for us, and a 2 terrain.
It's not that up there, is it? Does it unscrew?
Yeah, it's magnetic. It's magnetic.
Just comes all off. Oh my goodness. That's it.
There we go.
Wow.
So yeah, you can open it now. Well, you do it.
That is very tricky. I don't think we would have found that.
No, you wouldn't have dared, would you?
No, not in a place that we don't know or come from.
Let's hide this from these people.
Oh, okay. That is a very tricky hide. It wouldn't have dawned on me.
Isn't it good? Yeah.
That is very good. It's an awesome one. Betty, we gave it a favourite point too, so that was a very good one. I would love to hide one like that back home. It's very cool.
Now let's head along the Thames path to go mudlarking at Rotherhithe Beach.
Okay, and here's the way to get down to go mudlarking.
We're going down Hanover Stairs. Welcome to Rotherhithe Beach. Yes. All right. What can we find? That's a bone, big bit of bone.
Yeah. Lots of bones on the foreshore, aren't there?
Here's Sal's flat up above us. Remember, you need a permit to search the foreshore. Lots of metal objects here, like this large iron nail, left over from when the barges were pulled in here. Can you see the sign for Charles Hay and Son on what was once a warehouse? Charles Hay was a successful lighterman and barge builder, having established his own business in 1789.
The barges and the smaller lighters redistributed the big sailing ship's cargo to wherever it was needed next.
The white chalk here was to give the shore a soft bed to bring the barges up onto.
What have you found, Lynn?
Sorry?
What have you found?
Not a lot, to be honest. Little bit.
Not sure about these. What can you see here? It's a fossil. Not a very good example, but a fossilised sea urchin nevertheless. The name urchin comes from the old country name for hedgehog, an urchin. They are also known as fairy loaves or fairy hats. It was living between 35 to 100 million years ago. It may have come here in the chalk beds that were laid down as barge beds in the 18th and 19th centuries, or from deep down below, as the river runs over chalk below the layer of yellow-brown London clay. Somewhat similar to the modern heart urchin. And just over here, it's a piece of Staffordshire comb slipware. The late 1600s saw the production of comb-ware dishes and plates intended for poor to middle-class kitchens and dining tables, as well as for use in taverns. Maybe a plate was broken in the Mayflower tavern and the pieces thrown into the Thames for us to find hundreds of years later.
Always reminds us of our local cafes.
We're not sure about this wood here, possibly a groin placed perpendicular to the shoreline to trap sand for the beach.
Old throat stem.
Yep. It's quite a large one, isn't it?
Pity there's no bowl on it.
That's right.
We've got lucky, a clay pipe discarded in the Thames around 300 years ago. We use this handy chart to date the pipes we find. Looks to us like it dates between 1700 and 1770. The make and initial can just be made out here.
Plain looking pieces can still be interesting. This is a piece of tin glazed earthenware. The white tin glazed surface often features blue and white designs inspired by expensive Chinese porcelain. Thinking this might be the handle of a Brown Betty teapot made from a red clay found in Stoke-on-Trent.
I'm thinking this chain's left over from when the Thames barges and the smaller lighters were here.
More metal pieces here. Looks like an iron rivet. It's quite heavy for its size. If you're interested in learning more about pottery sherds, check out Richard Henry's book. It's available in PDF form.
Sal wants us to go to her place to have a cup of tea
Yeah.
because of time, and then she suggests by then the tide will be out down over there,
Oh,
and we
okay.
should come back on our own and have a good look.
Okay.
Okay?
We'll stop and take a look at the statue.
This is where the Mayflower tied up, eh?
So this is what I was going to show you. This statue.
Hmm.
It's quite nice because it's supposed to be this little boy reading this Sunbeam Weekly thing. Little boy from Rotherhithe
Right.
with his dog, and then if you look on the inside it shows you all the Pilgrim Father being interested in all the inventions that have occurred since they landed in America.
Oh, cool.
American achievements, I suppose.
Here are the things from his pocket. On to Sal's flat for a cup of tea. She has the flat up for sale as she seldom makes the journey from her home to London. It's in Hayes Court, a beautifully restored 19th century former barge warehouse.
Red and white geraniums, I grew those from cuttings
Oh,
back at
did you?
home.
Oh, they're beautiful. It's one thing we've really noticed in London is the beautiful flowers.
At this rate, you'll be selling the flat for me. So, that's it.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
Have a look at the deck.
Oh, this is lovely.
Yeah. Looking over to the Wapping on the other side there. And just off the deck, we were Mudlarking.
Well, would you like tea or coffee or something else?
We had a lovely cup of tea.
Well, this brings us to the end of our adventures in Rotherhithe. Thanks for watching.
And if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up so more people can watch. And don't forget to go geocaching.